There's a specific type of person who never gets recognized for how smart they truly are. Not because they are not intelligent, but because their intelligence does not look like what the world expects intelligence to look like. They do not top every exam. They do not have the loudest voice in the room. They do not rush to prove themselves. But behind closed doors, their mind operates on a level most people will never understand. If you have ever felt like people underestimate you, if you have ever felt like there is more going on inside your head than anyone around you realizes, this video is going to explain exactly why. Today we are covering 10 signs that your intelligence runs far deeper than people think. Stay till the end, because sign number 10 is the one most people never see coming. Let's begin. Sign number 1. You think in questions, not answers. Most people are satisfied with the first answer they find. They hear something, accept it, and move on. But you cannot do that. Every answer you find opens 3 more questions. You read something and immediately think, but why? But what if that is not the full picture? But what about this angle nobody is talking about? People around you see this as overthinking, as being difficult, as never being satisfied. But psychology tells a very different story. Research shows that people who constantly question and challenge existing information score significantly higher on deep reasoning and critical thinking assessments. Your questions are not a problem. They are the evidence that your brain refuses to stay on the surface. Sign number 2. You feel things before you can explain them. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately sensed that something was off? Before anyone said anything, before any obvious sign appeared, you just knew. Or maybe you have met someone for the first time and within minutes felt something about them that you could not put into words, something others completely missed. This is not magic. This is not luck. Psychologists call this intuitive intelligence. Your brain is processing thousands of microsignals, facial expressions, tone shifts, body language, environmental cues, all of it happening beneath conscious awareness. And your mind is advanced enough to synthesize all of that information into a single feeling. Most people call it a gut feeling. Scientists call it pattern recognition at a high cognitive level. Either way, it is one of the quietest signs of a very deep mind. Sign number 3. You struggle to explain your own thinking. This one surprises people. You know the answer. You can see the solution clearly. But when someone asks you to explain how you got there, you struggle. Not because you do not understand it, but because your brain skipped several steps that feel so obvious to you that you did not even realize you skipped them. This is called tacit knowledge. It is a knowledge that lives so deep inside your thinking process that it becomes almost impossible to verbalize. Highly intelligent people experience this constantly. Their brain processes at a speed and depth that jumps over the steps that average thinkers need to walk through one by one. So the next time someone says, just explain how you figure that out, and you find yourself unable to, that is not a weakness. That is your mind operating faster than your words can follow. Sign number 4. You are deeply uncomfortable with shallow conversation. Small talk drains you. Not because you are antisocial, not because you are arrogant, but because your mind craves something real, something with substance, something that actually means something. You would rather sit in silence than spend an hour talking about nothing. And people misread this about you all the time. They think you are cold. They think you are distant. They think you do not want to connect. But the truth is the exact opposite. You want to connect more deeply than most people are capable of. A study published in the British Journal of Psychology found that highly intelligent individuals reported significantly lower satisfaction from social small talk and significantly higher satisfaction from deep, meaningful conversations. Your need for depth is not a social flaw. It is a cognitive one. Your brain is built for more. Sign number 5. You are your own harshest critic. You finish something. Others tell you it is great. And all you can see is everything that could have been better. Every mistake. Every missed opportunity. Every gap between what you produced and what you know it could have been. This is not low self-esteem. This is called metacognitive awareness, the ability to evaluate your own thinking and output from the outside. Research consistently shows that people with high metacognitive awareness are among the highest performers in problem-solving and creative fields. The reason you are so hard on yourself is because your internal standard is exceptionally high, and your brain is intelligent enough to see the distance between where you are and where you could be. Most people cannot even see that distance. You not only see it, you feel it every single day. Sign number 6. You connect things that seem completely unrelated. You are listening to a song, and suddenly it reminds you of something from history. You read about a concept in science and instantly see how it applies to a relationship problem you were thinking about. Your brain does not store information in separate boxes. It stores everything in a web, and it is constantly looking for connections. Psychologists call this associative thinking, and it is one of the most powerful markers of creative and deep intelligence. Albert Einstein called it combinatory play, the ability to take ideas from completely different fields and combine them into something new. When your mind makes a connection that nobody else in the room made, and you wonder if it is even worth mentioning because it might sound strange, mention it. That connection is not random. It is your intelligence showing itself. Sign number 7. You need time alone to function at your best. The world tells you to be more social, to put yourself out there more, to stop spending so much time alone. But here is what the world does not understand. For a mind like yours, solitude is not isolation. Solitude is fuel. It is where your best thinking happens. It is where you process everything you have absorbed. It is where your ideas take shape. A study published in the British Journal of Psychology showed that highly intelligent people experience greater life satisfaction when they spend more time alone, not because they dislike people, but because their mind needs that quiet space to do what it does best. Your need for solitude is not a personality flaw. It is a cognitive requirement. Sign number 8. You absorb the emotions of everyone around you. You walk into a tense room, and you feel the tension in your own body. Someone near you is anxious, and without knowing why you start to feel anxious too. Someone is hiding something, and even though their face says everything is fine, you know it is not. This level of emotional sensitivity is exhausting, and most people in your life have probably told you that you are too sensitive, that you feel too much, that you need to toughen up. But neuroscience says something very different. High emotional sensitivity is directly linked to a more active and developed prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for complex thinking, decision-making, and deep social awareness. You do not feel too much. You process more, and that is a sign of a mind that is working at a very high level. Sign number 9. You often feel like you do not belong. You have spent most of your life feeling slightly out of place. Not in a dramatic way, just different, like you are always one step removed from fully fitting in, like you are speaking a language that everyone around you almost understands, but not quite. And for years you may have wondered if something was wrong with you. But here's what decades of psychological research actually show. People with significantly above average depth of thinking consistently report feeling different from their peers, not because they are broken, but because their internal world is genuinely more complex than the average person's. You were not built to fit into average spaces. You were built for something that requires more depth, more complexity, more range. The feeling of not belonging was never a flaw. It was a signal. Sign number 10. You have always known there was more to you than people could see. This is the one. Deep down, beneath all the self-doubt, beneath all the time someone underestimated you, beneath all the moments you stayed quiet when you should have spoken, there's always been a part of you that knew that you see things others miss, knew that you feel things others cannot access, knew that your mind works in ways that are genuinely different, not better, not superior, just deeper. That knowing was never arrogance. It was accuracy. And the fact that you have spent your whole life wondering if you were enough, while quietly sensing that there was more to you than the world recognized, is perhaps the deepest sign of all. So there they are, 10 signs that your intelligence runs far deeper than the people around you have ever realized. You think in questions. You feel before you can explain. You struggle to put your own thinking into words. You crave depth over small talk. You are your own harshest critic. You connect what others cannot. You need solitude to recharge. You absorb the emotions of everyone around you. You have always felt slightly different. And deep down, you have always known there was more to you. None of these are weaknesses. Every single one of them is a mark of mind that was built to go deeper than most. If this video resonated with you, leave a like. It helps this channel reach more people who need to hear this. And if you want more videos like this, subscribe to InnerIQ, because this is exactly what we do here. We decode the minds that the world never took the time to understand. Which of these 10 signs felt most like you? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. See you in the next one.